Do a show live. This is the L2C Media Network, and this is the L2C Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxley, sponsored in part by the L2C Media Network. Now, with the sports day in detail, and Baxman, you have a package that was delivered here to the studio. I always forget to say this. We're live from the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson, Michigan at the Fred McLeod Sports Desk. Bax, I don't know what this is. You going to open it? Let's go to you now. Here's the Bax, man. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome one all to the Corsican Ball. I hold in my hand right here, I don't know if you can see this, a package. That is correct. By the way, good announcing, Harry. Thank you. Welcome back, Harry von Stuttgart. An astute announcer who, even when a mysterious package, is delivered while on the air, continue to announce. Now, of course, I don't know what's in here, but it's got to be something good. Now, much like regular TV shows, when we have a package, we have to, as they say, censor the addressee and the addressor. So here's who sent the package. That's right, Mandy Summers, and there's me right there. So I don't know. Should we open this during the end or right now? Right now? Okay, let's do this. Saturday and Sunday can't rule out a shower or storm. The chance is only 20% high in the mid. It's beautiful to have one of these, isn't it? Doesn't do good for your hair or actually your speech. So here we go. A little cutting here. Haha, yes. Okay, let's. Ooh, this is a tough one to open up, kids. There you go. Let's see. Anyway, folks, we're gonna open this. Let's see. Bring out the knife yet again, and open the cider here. Okay, let's see. Do we have this again? One more time. There we go. Okay, let's see what's in here. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Oh, boy. There we go. You know, I love mysterious packages. And let's see. Baby. Awesome. Hey, bubble wrap. Best way to calm yourself down. Okay, let's see what we got here. Got Work the Wizard. Let's show it here. I don't know if we can. We got the Work the Wizard card here, trading card, 3 of 3. A Work the Wizard bookmark. There you go, frontage, package. You know, this picture does look like me in the high school yearbook. How did they ever got that picture? I have no idea. So there you go. Beautiful artwork right there. How do you like that? I am a comic book fan from way back when, and I will tell you this, folks. The comic book industry loves, if Stan Lee were still alive today, he would appreciate what people like Mandy Summers, Peter Gilmore, Wyatt Holliday do. There you go. Let's give you another look-see here. There's another little picture. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, that's two. And Yentley, the third one. How do you like that? Once again, how they ever got my high school yearbook picture, I will never know. Anyway, there you go. And let's keep that. We may need it after the ratings. All right. And here it is. Stuntman Comics. Wart the Wizard. Take a look at that. We just shoot that right there. There you go. And on the back. There you go on the back there. Another little epic. Wart the Wizard. There you go. And once more, it's Sunday Follies. And it is in the sacred box now. I know we got to do a sports show, but I want to just say one thing. Comic books these days, they need a little shot in the old arm. And people like Mandy Summers, Peter Gilmore, Wyatt Holliday, a few others, including that Umbrella guy, they are making comics. And I'm going to use the cliche. I'm sorry, but it's true. They're making comics great again. They're making comics fun again, I will tell you. I mean, I love this. I love the trading card. There you go, right there. I love it. And the sacred material. Let's see. Let me just open this. You know, I'm glad we're on for 45 minutes, but I wanted to show this to you, folks. A mysterious package gets dropped here. And, there's three of them in here. Let me pull these out of my hat here. This is number one. Numero dos. And finally, Wart the Wizard. There is number three right there. That is damn good stuff. Okay, let me put this very much back in this its little thing here. And I want to thank Mandy Summers, and I hope you're watching this live. The unveiling was beautiful. I'm going to enjoy, and I've backed a few others. If you want to back comics, if you want to help Comicsgate gives new life to the to not only the industry but to the genre. I say thank you to people like Mandy Summers. I also say cheers to the Jack Kirbys and the Stan Lees of the group. I will cherish these always and forever. Oh, that. Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's Wart the Wizard. And I still ask again, how the hell they got my yearbook picture? Hi, I'm Steve. How you doing? I just graduated Northwest High School. How do you like my high school yearbook picture? Anyway, there we go. So it finally came today, and I thank Mandy Summers, and I say good luck to Mandy, Wyatt, Peter Gilmore, Charlie's London, and everyone else involved in Comicsgate. You are making the comics industry look good, and you've given it a breath of fresh air. All right. We've done with this. And we got more here. I don't know, but There we go. Da, 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 da. I don't want to do too much, but there you go. And bum bum. Hi, how are you? My name's Mark the Wizard. How's it going? All right, there we go. I am definitely going to be reading this tonight. Now, if you go into the sacred pool and along with your friends there, because I don't want to lose a single bit. So there you go, folks. Okay, let's silly back up. Concealing. Okay, now that we've done that, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Mandy. If you're watching, if you're not, I hope you watch the archive. Okay, folks. Let's get to it. This is why you join us here. And I just got it. And I wanted to share that with you. You know, I like to share things with you all here in the sports chalet, as I like to call it. Let's kick it off with some big old NFL news. And ooh la la, boy, oh boy, we got a few little problems. The relationship between New York and Philadelphia is not always a good one, with a rivalry that's particularly apparent. There we are. Particularly apparent in sports.
And Audrey is here now with sports, and a lot of Michigan State basketball fans are going to be very happy tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to be dreaming about the 2021 season, Siobhan, thanks to the announcement that this young man right here made today.
The Jets wide receiver Denzel Mims has very strong opinions on the city of brotherly love, and well, we haven't done this in a while, but spoiler alert, it's not the feeling of love. No, Mims, a second-round pick, taken number 59 overall, does not appreciate the feeling Philly gives, and often the fierce, energetic, and outspoken people of the city. Things like climbing telephone poles after winning a Super Bowl don't appeal to everyone, I guess. The 22-year-old was asked a question about what he thought of Philadelphia while on a live stream of Call of Duty, and gave a very honest answer. The 2020 Jets draft pick said, quote, I didn't like that. Oh, you gotta have it. Okay, we ready? I didn't like that dirty crash city. Ooh. He said that? Yes, he did. I guess Rutherford, New Jersey is more his speed, or maybe Newark. Mims has discussed Philly before while on the Inside the Boyds podcast, saying, quote, I wasn't familiar with the whole city, and it was like a lot going on. You see a lot of people that look scary. I'm not a part of that. I don't like that. I had a bad experience, you could say, going up there that first time. He said he was very scared while there. Ew. The rivalry between the Eagles and Jets may not be the most intense in the NFL, or even for the Eagles. Note the Cowboys. But I don't think Philadelphia will be that welcoming whether New York comes to town or not. The two teams don't meet frequently, but we're scheduled for a Week 4 preseason game at Lincoln Financial Field. But the NFL is shortening the 2020 preseason due to the coronavirus pandemic. So there's a good chance Mims misses out on visiting his favorite city this year. Whoa. Speaking of ill tidings, another football report. Oh, would you like to hear this? I'm glad you will, because we're going to report on it either way. Let's kick it in. And hours after posting a parent, oh, this is lovely. Let's do this properly, shall we? Hours after posting an apparent Adolf Hitler quote on his Instagram, Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver Deshaun Jackson has suggested the message he shared was taken, quote, the wrong way, end quote, saying he has, quote, no hatred in my heart towards anyone, end quote. As ESPN, that four-lettered sports monolith, reported, Jackson posted two different pictures, one on Saturday and another on Monday, with positive remarks about Louis Farrakhan, the late Nation of Islam leader. Really? As well as pictures on his story feed of a quote he attributed to Hitler, in which, quote, we're not even going to attempt to say because we're a decent program. Even in comedy, you have to have some decency. Farrakhan had been identified as anti-Semitic by the Anti-Defamation League and Southern Poverty Law Center, with the latter knowing that Farrakhan served as the top minister for the Nation of Islam, a deeply racist, and that's in quotes, system, quote, consistently rejected by mainstream Muslims, end quote. Now, Jackson reposted the apparent Hitler quote after initial backlash with Hitler's name and other parts of the excerpt blacked out. Since then, he's explained in an additional post on his story feed that he did not intend to disparage the Jewish community by sharing the quote. He posted the following. Anyone who feels I have hate towards the Jewish community took my post the wrong way. I have no hatred in my heart towards no one. Equality, equality. The Eagles, who originally drafted Jackson in the second round of the 2008 NFL draft and brought the receiver back for a second stint with the franchise last season, have since released a little statement saying that, in part, that Jackson's posts, quote, have no place in our society, end quote. And here's the statement, somewhat in full. Quote, we have spoken with Deshaun Jackson about a social media post. The Eagles statement reads, regardless of his intentions, the messages he shared were offensive, harmful, and absolutely appalling. They were also stupid, asinine, and thoughtless, and tasteless, and cruel, and vicious. My words. They have no place in our society and are not condoned or supported in any way by the organization. We are disappointed, and we reiterated to Deshaun the importance of not only apologizing, but also using his platform to take actions to promote unity, equality, and respect. We are continuing to evaluate the circumstances and will take appropriate action. We take these matters very seriously and are committed to continuing to have productive and meaningful conversations with Deshaun, as well as all of our players and staff, in order to educate, learn, and grow. Well, Deshaun went on his Twitter account to explain and said, quote, I want to personally apologize to the Jewish community, Jeffrey Lurie, Howard Roseman, Doug Peterson, the Eagles organization, our fans, for the insensitive and ill-formed posts that I shared on my social media. My intention was to uplift, unite, and encourage our culture with positivity and light. Unfortunately, that did not happen. I unintentionally hurt the Jewish community in the process, and for that I am sorry. Now more than ever, we must work together to end discrimination of all types and against all people and communities. This apology is more than just words. It is a promise to do better. I will fully educate myself and work with local and national organizations to be more informed and make a difference in our community. I will consider my words and actions moving forward. I will seek out voices from other communities and listen to their words, thoughts, and beliefs. In a time of division, I am committed to doing my part in making this world a better place for our children. The NFL also released a statement regarding the post by Jackson, saying they were, quote, highly inappropriate, offensive, and divisive, and stand in stark contrast to the NFL's values of respect, equality, and inclusion, end quote. The league says it's also been in contact with the Eagles in response to this situation. More on this. I have a feeling you better believe it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get to a little levity, folks, a little niceness. Once again, another NFL report. And, well, The NFL Players Association is reportedly pushing for a total elimination of 2020 preseason games, as well as a potential opt-out scenario for players in the regular season, in part because players themselves could be at higher risk for the coronavirus amid the COVID-19 pandemic. At least one NFL head coach would likely agree with any extra precautions, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' Bruce Arians saying Monday that he expects every single player to get sick during the 2020 season. Arians told the Tampa Bay Times, we got to be careful. The players, they're all going to go and get sick. That's for sure. It's just a matter of how sick they get. Now, this comes on the heels of NFL Network's report that the league plans to test not only players, but their families and cohabitants, that's a big word, for COVID-19 ahead of training camp, which is still scheduled to start later this month. At 67, Arians himself added that he'll be operating differently in 2020 because of COVID-19. As the Times noted, prior to 2019, the former Arizona Cardinals coach had not finished a full season as a head coach without at least one trip to a hospital. A three-time cancer survivor, Arians also stepped down as Cardinals coach following the 2017 campaign, despite having additional seasons under contract because of health concerns. And that is your NFL report. And now, a brief message, and then we're back with more of this provocative report. Let us tell you tonight, and we got graphics to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, once again, this is, I don't know how we're going to twist this wrong way, but here we go. Nick Rekieta, Lost Bleeding the Interwebs tonight. It's Tirade Tuesday with hashtag MeToo and Sargon versus Hughes. That's tonight, live, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. on the West Coast. Rekieta Law channel only on YouTube. Remember, that's Lost Bleeding the Interwebs with Nick Rekieta. Be there or be somewhere other than. Okay, 31 minutes past the hour on the regular clock, 21 minutes past whatever it is on whatever it is. We go back. We do. And let's get to it. Major League Baseball report. Yes, indeed. We do have one for you. And Zakaduku's Lakadieth. Feels like a lifetime ago, but 5 months ago that the LA Dodgers acquired former American League MVP Mookie Betts in a nine-player three-team trade with the Boston Red Sox and Minnesota Twins. The trade was agreed to, then reworked because of medical concerns. Boy, was it a hectic week. Betts is scheduled to become a free agent this offseason because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Dodgers will only have him for 60 games this year, not 162. They'll have him for a full postseason, however, and that's the point. LA was plenty good enough to win the NL West without him. They added Betts to get over the hump in the postseason. The payrolls for Major League Baseball are expected to shrink going forward as teams deal with the financial fallout of this pandemic. Top-tier free agents like Betts are still going to get paid and paid well, though perhaps not quite as well as originally thought. Despite that, Mookie says he has no regrets about rejecting a reported 10-year, $300 million offer from the Red Sox last off-season. Now, the Red Sox made several attempts to sign Betts long-term over the years. They offered him a $200 million contract back in 2017, the year before he won MVP, and they reportedly offered $300 million later. Betts was said to be seeking north of $400 million. Boy, that's north. Which wasn't crazy, seeing how he's arguably the second best player in baseball. And Mike Trout recently signed a $430 million contract. Betts said that his impending free agency is on the back burner now as he prepares for the season and focuses on his health as well as the health of his family, friends, and teammates. David Price was part of the Betts trade, recently opted out of the season over health concerns. Betts supports his friend but acknowledged he is not in a position to do the same. Now, we've said this many times, and it bears repeating, high-risk players can opt out of the 2020 season and still collect pay and service time. Other players can opt out but would not be paid or accrue service time. This far, Price and 8 others have opted out of the season. None are believed to be high risk. Bettis is not a high-risk individual, so if he were to opt out of the season, he would not collect $10 million in prorated salary. More importantly, Betts would not accrue the year of service time necessary to become a free agent this winter. Opting out will push his 9-figure free agent payday back to 1 year, so he's going to play. Yes, if you're going to make the big cheddar, you got to play. Oh, you got to play. Other high-profile and pending free agents like George Springer and JT Realmuto are undoubtedly feeling the same pressure to play this season. They want to be safe and protect their families. They also want that life-changing contract. Betts, who turns 28 in October, authored a 295, 391, and 524 batting line with 40 doubles and 29 home runs last year. Since 2015, his first full baseball season, Betts is second among all players with a 39.5 WAR, WAR, or WAR, whatever that is, trailing only Trout with a 45.1 WAR. Nolan Ariando is a distant third with 31.4 WAR. Okay, so that's pretty much sanguine, don't you think? Yes, it is. Okay, guess my peoples. We'll keep going on this. Another NFL little bon mot. While the NFL is an extremely lucrative business, it's not immune to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on the economy. While the league is still hoping to have a 2020 season, the NFL is preparing for a possibility of having no fans in attendance during games. That would result in a very significant loss of revenue as NFL teams routinely play in front of sellout crowds. With the projected start of training camp just 3 weeks away, the league is already looking at ways to save money during the upcoming 2020 season. On Tuesday, the Players Association informed its board of reps at the NFL proposed 35% of player salaries be held in escrow to help manage costs during this 2020 season, according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. Two of the league's more prominent players quickly responded. Michael Thomas, the New Orleans Saints All-Pro receiver, said that players would sit out before they would agree to the NFL's reported proposal. Bills receiver Stephon Diggs sent out a series of tweets Tuesday night shortly after the NFL proposal went public. The proposal from Diggs' perspective has added to the overall uncertainty that is the 2020 season. Here's what he said, quote, I miss football. I love football with all of me. But there are so many unanswered questions with this upcoming season. I'd be lying if I said I was comfortable starting back up. I've been training my butt off, just trying to stay ready and prepared. I've never played a game with 0 fans in the stands. Even in Little League, we had at least parents and other family members. This will be weird if it happens, end quote. Now, given the current uptick in the COVID-19 cases across the country, it is very unclear whether or not football will actually take place this fall. As alluded to, it is still the league's intention to start training camp on time, even though it may or may not include fans in attendance. All this can change, however, depending on the ongoing spread of the COVID-19, whether or not it can dissipate over the next several weeks. But the NFL can play in 2020. It's clear that based on Thomas's reaction, players will not want to play at a discounted rate, especially given the health risk associated with playing football during a pandemic. Mr. Goodell, I speak for the fans. I speak for myself when I tell you maybe you and our friends at Major League Baseball and maybe the NBA should all take a stand and just tell the fans we'll see them next year. We'll still be here. Speaking of seeing people next year, we have a golf update for you. The U.S.-hosted Ryder Cup has been postponed. It'll be reconvened in 2021. Time and date to be determined. Okay, it is 11:38, and on our little bubble, that's right, we do have a bubble. On our bubble here, we've reached the 29th minute of our 45-minute broadcast. We're 45. We may go about 10 over, so we'll have fun. All right. Did we do this last night, guys? I just want to know, did we do this next story last night, or I think we did. We did. We did do this story last night. Okay. So we'll we did do it last night. See how much fun I have with our crew here? Okay, so hey, we got another story here, and this one is in the WNBA. And oh well, this is going to be a fun little tribute. Republican Senator let's try that again. Republican Senator from Georgia, Kelly Loeffler, who is an owner of the Atlanta Dream, does not agree with the WNBA's plans to honor the Black Lives Matter movement, according to Greg Bluestein and Bria Felshian of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Loeffler wrote a letter to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert asking the league to scrap plans for players to wear warm-up jerseys that have the words Black Lives Matter and say her name on them. Loeffler wrote that she would rather an American flag be on jerseys and team apparel. Well, shortly after the Atlanta Journal-Constitution published the article about the letter, which included the note in its entirety, the WNBA released a statement explaining that Loeffler is, quote, no longer involved in the day-to-day business, end quote, of the Dream. The statement also revealed that Loeffler, quote, has not served as a governor of the Atlanta Dream since October 2019. Further, the WNBA is based on the principle of equal and fair treatment of all people, and we, along with the teams and players, will continue to use our platforms vigorously, advocate for social justice, Engelbert said in the statement. The Republican senator said in her letter that, quote, a particular political agenda undermines the potential of the sport and sends a message of exclusion. The truth is we need less, not more politics in sports. In a time when polarizing politics is as divisive as ever, sports has the power to be a unifying antidote, end quote. Loeffler, who faces a November special election against 20 other candidates, wrote, quote, and now more than ever, we should be united in our goal to remove politics from sports, end quote. Loeffler claimed that no one from the WNBA League office reached out to her about the plan to put the particular phrases on warm-up attire. The senator also claimed in the letter that the current protests around the country have birthed, quote, lawless autonomous zones, end quote, in Atlanta and other metropolitan cities. Quote, I denounced these zones of violence for which I have been criticized, end quote, Loeffler wrote in her article. Continue. However, this same group fell silent over the 4th of July weekend when an 8-year-old girl was murdered under the mob rule that I warned about days earlier. This is not a political movement that the league should be embracing, and I emphatically oppose it. Well, the WNBA Players Association did not hold back on their feelings towards the senator, tweeting out a message of, shall we say, disagreement with the letter before the league released their statement. 2 words, enough, out. Several WNBA star players have called for Loeffler to be removed as a co-owner of the Dream recently. Sue Bird voiced her opposition to Loeffler being involved with the Dream, while Washington Mystic guard Natasha Cloud tweeted, quote, get her a week out of the league. In addition, Dream point guard Renee Montgomery, who's already announced she will sit out the season in order to work on off-court initiatives focused on social justice, tweeted directly at Loeffler asking if she would be willing to sit down and discuss the matter further. The WNBA plans to resume play with a tournament in Florida later this month and will be centered around the Black Lives Matter movement. And it continues. Yes, it sure does. Scoreboard time. Yep, that's coming up. We got our scoreboard, and it should be let's find out what's happening in the world of awful announcing. .com. That's right, adult, yeah. Hmm. Ba-ba-de-boop. And if you remember the scoop about Patrick Mahomes, was it a scoop properly done by ESPN's Adam Schefter? No, that's not what we were looking for. We were looking for something else. Nope. Was it a scoop done by the Dean of Scoops for Fox Sports, Jay Glazer? Nope. How about this? A liquor store employee. That's right. You got it. Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year, $450 million contract extension with the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday. ESPN's Adam Schefter had many, many tweets, but he wasn't the first person to have the scoop. It was Plaza Liquor employee Katie Camlin, who tweeted around 2 hours before Schefter that a member from the Chiefs front office came into the store and bought 6 bottles of Dom Perignon champagne. That is some high-class root beer, folks. To celebrate a big signing, Camlin added, he said, it's not Chris Jones, so my guess is a Mahomes deal. Now, according to Kansas City Star, Camlin deleted the tweet out of nervousness about doing something wrong, but Twitter user Gentleman Chief shared a green shot of Camlin's tweet. And even the timestamp of Gentleman Chief's screenshot tweet is more than an hour before Scheffler's first tweet on the contract extension. After Scheffler's tweet, Camlin tweeted, Holy, I beat Schefter! You did. Camlin followed that with, I'm putting my phone away for a while. Come to Plaza Liquor and buy beer from me. Wear a mask. Be kind. Go Chiefs. Now, Schefter tweeted his congratulations to Camlin this morning. And that's good. I mean, there's a man who is respect. I will guarantee you that. Now, y'all are probably saying, hey, Major League Baseball is going to have 60 games. What about the website, MLB.tv? How much are they going to charge? $59.99 for a 60-game season. Yeah. That's going to be fun, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. We got some bad news. If you are a Mike Golick fan, well, guess who's coming back? That's right. Some of the long-discussed changes to ESPN Radio are set to officially kick in following the exit of Will Cain to Fox News last month, 2 months after Andrew Marchand of The Post reported that it was expected to happen, and following the early June report from Ryan Glasspiegel and Bobby Brock at Outkick that Keyshawn Johnson would likely shift from his ESPN LA role to a national ESPN Radio morning show, and the late June report from Marchand that Johnson was in fact doing that. Well, ESPN made it official. On Tuesday, the lineup set to start on August 17th, and the new lineup comes with some big shifts, including Mike Greenberg returning including Mike Greenberg returning to the radio airwaves with the self-titled The Mike Greenberg Show, which will air from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern daily on some ESPN-affiliated radio stations. Now here in the Jackson area, that little spot where it will be rejoined after the nooner with Greg O'Connor. Dan Le Batard's show with Stugatz will be shortened to 10 to noon rather than its current 10 to 1 run time. Beyond that, in the morning 6 to 10 slot, it'll be the end of Golick and Wingo, and co-host Trey Wingo and Mike Golick Sr. are nowhere to be found on the daily windup or lineup. Contracts for both are up this year. Marchand wrote on April that it looked like Wingo was looking to leave morning radio even if he stayed with ESPN. Instead, the 6 to 10 slot will see Johnson co-host Keyshawn, Jay, and Zubin, with Jay Williams and Zubin Menti from 6 to 10 Eastern. There are notable moves later in the day, too. Shinny Ogwu Mike will join Mike Golick Jr., who had held a regular role on Golick and Wingo alongside his dad to co-host Shinny and Golick Jr. And I'm sorry to Mr. Ogwumike if I screwed up the first name. My apologies. 4 to 7 Eastern, with Jason Fitz joining Sarah Spain from 7 to 9 Eastern. Fitz had co-hosted with Spain before, but was most recently hosting afternoon First Take radio spinoff, First Take, Your Take. Spain was most recently hosting Spain and Company from 6 to 9. Perhaps the most significant change from the current schedule comes in the middle of the day, where the Dan Le Batard show with Stu Gatz will lose its final hour in favor of the new Mike Greenberg show, which will now air from noon to 2 Eastern. There's also the new Max Kellerman show, which will run from 2 to 4 Eastern, replacing part of First Take, Your Take and part of the Will Kane show, which currently is filled by ESPN Radio Afternoons. Kellerman had previously hosted radio shows for ESPN New York and Los Angeles, but this is his debut on the national scene. So let's see what we got here. Now, these changes have already drawn some interesting reaction. In particular, the decision to shorten Le Batard's radio show, in particular his highly questionable TV show, will continue on ESPN at 4:30 Eastern weekdays. To make room for a new radio show from Greenberg took some criticism on Tuesday on Twitter, including from famed TV showrunner and Fire Joe Morgan figure Michael Schur. It's vitally important in these times of social unrest and zero sports that ESPN reduce the airtime of its most popular and relevant radio show and podcast in order to make room for the no sports not to be discussed by less diverse groups of people who have less to say. And many Le Batard fans weighed in as well. At Aiden Smart 19, you guys are clowns. People who do not want less than Le Batard. He is the best show in your lineup and can hold his own in a time with no sports. Stop this. BN3LS said Dan Le Batard has played a huge role in launching the careers of some of ESPN's brightest young stars. I will agree. And now they want to cut his airtime. Shameful. Pimpin' Van Smack said the Dan Le Batard show with Stu Gatz is being reduced from 3 hours to 2, leading into Greenberg show. Wow, unreal for that dope. Ooh. At Butler _did_it. I definitely don't appreciate one less hour of the Le Batard show for Mike Greenberg. Oh boy. There was some talk back in April that Le Batard might wind up off of ESPN radio entirely. That didn't happen, but it's interesting to see his show, which, apart from Late Night Freddie and Fitzsimmons, is the only show carrying over in its exact current form. Cut down, Le Batard did prompt some discussion last summer with his commentary on Send Her Back chants directed U.S. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at one of the U.S. President Donald Trump's campaign rallies. And while he wasn't suspended, he was called to the Bristol camp for a meeting with company president Jimmy Pitaro. Greenberg will obviously be a much safer choice with his old Mike and Michael earning Mickey and Mickey in the morning. Criticisms from Colin Cowherd for how league-friendly it was. In fact, Greenberg himself has frequently pushed back on any suggestion that he wants to discuss anything remotely connected to politics on the air. And while Greenberg's current Get Up TV show does sometimes feature quite the takes to the level of Snorville, many of those come from guests, while Greenberg himself has dropped notable takes as well from time to time. Many of those have been strange takes on teams and players, with others being exceptionally league-friendly readings of situations, such as his May remarks blaming MLB players' negotiation tactics for a deal not being reached quickly. Greenberg apparently got his reported $6.5 million annual salary just by accepting corporate dictates. So he certainly seems unlikely to cause any problems. This is also an interesting footnote along Mike and Mike saga. That morning show with Greenberg and Golick Sr. was an ESPN radio staple from 2000 2017 and led them being inducted into the National Association Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2016, but it ended in November 2017 after a long batch of leaks about Greenberg's wanting to leave for a TV-focused job and the poisonous atmosphere on the show as a result. And Golick's son Jake called ESPN management idiots for blowing it up. And Jake Golick does have a point. Radio replacement show Golick and Wingo never did well, despite some ESPN claims, as its predecessor, and got off to a really rocky start. And while its ratings have improved after the first few months and some further cash changes seem to have worked out okay for it, but certainly hasn't been a world beater, and it's debatable if it's been worth what they're paying Greenberg in particular and others, especially after you factor in the changes it led on the radio side. But now, Greenberg is doing more. His I'm Interested in podcast lasted a few months in 2018, and while he's done things like hosting the occasional SportsCenter special and so on, his main ESPN work since Mike and Mike has been Get Up. Now there will be more Greenberg available to ESPN viewers and listeners daily. Whether that's a good or bad thing depends on the listener. Now, what will happen to the radio simulcast? Stay tuned. That's going to be fun to find out, isn't it? Yes, it will be. Yes, it certainly will be. Okay, we're at 46:12. We're going to continue on. We're going to continue on a bit, 10 more minutes, so fear not. Or personally. If we can do all that, we'll be happy. The Pac-12 network has extended pay cuts for a full year. Let's see. The abbreviated 2020 MLB season will start with an ESPN doubleheader on July 23rd and a tripleheader on July 24th. And, ouch. And Blazers TV announcer Kevin Calabro steps down before a restart of the NBA season. So there's been a lot of changes on that department. Okay, there you go with that. Let's give you quickly some scores from scoreboard.com. Then we'll get you some some highs and buys. And we will then say our au revoirs to you all in perfect harmony. And someday I'm going to find out how in the heck you can write backwards. But until that time comes, welcome to my world. Fa la 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 la. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Welcome to my Yiddish. Okay, got to wipe this out so we can do this in perfect harmony. Okay, let's take you to some soccer. Premier League action. Chelsea over Crystal Palace 3-2. Watford over Norwich 2-1. Leicester and Arsenal tied at 1. In cities A, Italy, Lecce defeated Lazio 2-1. AC Milan over Juventus 4-2. In Spain, La Liga, Valencia over Valladolid 2-1. Celta Vigo and Atlantic Madrid tied at 1. Armenia Premier League Championship Group, it was Ala Shakert 5, Lori 1. Pity for Lori. Czech Republic Liga Europe League playoffs, Bohemians defeated the Mladi Boleslav 2-1. In Estonia, the Meister Liga Kalju defeated Kurasar 1-0 in Germany. The Bundesliga regulation, Nuremberg over Ingolstadt 2-0. And in the club friendly action, it was Metallic 3-0 winner over FK Ingigia. Charleroi over Wargem 2-1. Pod Brazova over Petrazalka 4-1. Proletter over Red Biograd 3-1. Trebach over SV Admira Vilak 5-1. Telfs over Mats Siz 5-1. Union Girton over Freiburg 5-1. In baseball, in the Japan NPB, it was the Chibalati Marins over the Cebu Lions 8-6, 8-11-0 for the Marins, 6-10-1 for the Lions. Ariyoshi for the Marins gets the win. That's his first. Takahashi with the loss, he's 2-1. In extra innings, the Akut Swallows defeated the Trinichi Dragons 2-1, 2-7-0 for the Swallows, 1-7-1 for the Dragons. Okada, very funny. Let's get back there because we're not finished yet, and I know it says midnight. Okay, let's do this here. Where were we? Oh yeah, Okada for the Dragons lost. He's 0-1. Terashima for the Swallows gets his win. That's his first as well. The Fukuoka Silverhawks over the Rakuten Golden Eagles 4-3, 4-6-1 Hawks, 3-5-1 Eagles. Senga for the Silverhawks gets a win. He's 1-0. Huge gets the loss. He's 2-1. 2 games were postponed in the Japan NPB. Hanshin Tigers and the Yomiuri Giants, and the Hiroshima Carp and the Yokohama Bay Stars. And finally, the Oric Buffaloes defeated the Nippon Ham Fighters 7-1, 7-11-1 Buffaloes, 1-4-0 for the Ham Fighters. Albers for the Buffaloes gets the win. He split the uprights. He's 1-1. Seguri gets lost. He's also split the uprights. He's 1-1 as well. Nicaragua CNBS playoffs. Full 9 innings for the 2 teams. Esteli over Chantals 13-4. And Boer blanked Metagalpa 8-0. In the Korean Baseball Organization, South Korea, you're going to love this. Doosan Bears over the LG Twins 9-6, 9-14-0 for the Bears, 6-12-1 for the Twins. Hanwha Eagles over the Lottie Giants 7-6, 7-10-0, and that was in extras, by the way. 7-10-0 for the Eagles, 6-14-1 for the Giants. KT Wiz Swan over the Kia Tigers, 8-2, 8-9-1 for the Swan, 2-5-2 for Los Tigres. Samsung Lions belted the Kaiwon Heroes, 13-2, 13-20-0 for the Lions, 2-6-1 for the Heroes. NC Dinos over the SK Wyverns, 5-4, 5-8-0 Dinos, 4-9-0 Wyverns. In the Taiwan CPBL first stage was China Trust Brothers over the Rakuten Monkeys, 9-7, 9-12-2 for the Brothers, 7-10-1 for the Monkeys, and the Uni Lions over the Fubon Guardians, 5-3, 5-12-0 for the Lions, 3-10-3 for the Fubon Guardians. And that, friends, is your scoreboard. We're going to once again have to do a group version of our hellos, and we do so immediately. George Templeton, Marley Wiley, Jeff Rollo, Dale Sankey, Blind Lemon, Mr. and Mrs. Nellie K9, Insapod, and all my friends from the AFL chat, thebasement.com.au, and company. We say hello and congratulations on the birth of your daughter, January J. Keaton. Mazel tov. To Alex Sims, Audrey Dogren, Nick Mantis, to all my friends over there, TV6WLNS-TV, Dominique Keith, Tom Ziska, Melissa Wilson, Dr. Jim, and all my friends over at Fox 26 KRIV Houston. We also say hello to my mother, Sharon Baxley, who owns this particular place. We say also hi to my Uncle Mike, to my cousin Brenda Gaminsky, to her son Stephen Michael Gaminsky, and if you'll just pause for a minute here. Hello, you're speaking to me while I'm still on the air. Okay, thank you very much. Bye. Uh, that was from West Avenue McDonald's. And a do. Okay, I'm on the air. I'm on live. Thank you. We're going to go about 2 minutes long here, so my apologies to you all. We say, just disturbed the vibe. Hello to Mandy Summers, to Wyatt Holiday, to Charlie's London, to Peter Gilmore. Hi, how are you? Greetings. To all the folks over at Comicsgate, Stan Lee would be proud of you all. And I can't wait to read Wart the Wizard. To Claudia Treos, to my cat Uno, to Angela Peterson, Christina Peterson, Jada Brain Man, Yuki Tanaka, Anne-Marie Mann, Matthew Nichols, Jerry Nichols, Nancy Nichols, Dorothy Malone, Courtney Lynn Elwood, and all the gang over there. The girl group with a great sound. You gotta hear them. They are good, folks. They are good. Who else do we say hi to? Silva Harapetian. We say always a great time to see her. Amy Hayes, Morris Hayes, Frida Hayes, of course, Miss Lingo. That is, of course, as always, Stacy Hayes. We say hello. Hello to Peter Oida, Louisa Fernanda, Kellyanne Collins, Robert A. Oberoff. How you doing? We say hello to Chris Lewis, Chris French, Eddie Farhat, Tom Farhat, Sarah Baxley Legrand, Myra Baxley Duan, Dwight Duan, and I want to say a very special blessing. My uncle in Georgia passed away this morning, and Uncle Malvin, you are reunited with the rest of your brothers. I hope you're letting those angels alone, but with your humor. And let's face it, I am a part of that humor. Ask around. The angels in heaven are going to be in for a wild ride with you guys. Thank you, everybody, for the condolences. I love y'all. Linda Steele, thank you as well. And to all my friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, thank you. And we are about 3 minutes under. And I know I should do this, but what the hell? I'm going to try to do this real fast. Because I still don't know how to do things, electronically. So here we go. Oh, come on, be neat. No. Da. Not yet, madam. I'm not going to do that, madam. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'll do that next. I'll do that tomorrow. Right now, somebody's having a cow, so I better just end it like I normally do. Thank you all for listening, for watching. If you missed us live, don't worry. These things are archived. You'll be able to watch again and see just how nuts this program can get once in a while. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining us. We're back tomorrow night at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget, unless the sporting event dictates otherwise, we'll be on at 11:10 Wednesday with some wrestling news and everything else. We still got some sports leftovers to give you, so we hope to do that to you tomorrow. Until then, I am Steve the Baxman Baxley for Harry von Stuttgart, for Jethro, for our good friend Lord Hawthorne Hayes, and everybody who works hard on the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley saying this has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports, and of course YouTube. No matter whose team you're rooting for, may they be winners. Good night, America, wherever and whomever you are. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully a little bit calmer.